wonderful to see you all. Welcome to our mid-year concert. My name is Cameron Reinfeldt. I'm the band director here at Fairbanks. And to start us off this evening, well, I guess really to start us off, we had that wonderful Beef and Beats fundraiser. It was great to see so many of you join us for a meal before the concert. But now that the concert portion has begun, up in front of you now we have our 6th grade band. Now, these 6th graders have been working real hard since you last saw them at the winter concert. They know a lot of new notes, they know a lot of new techniques and new styles. So to start, we're going to show those new skills off with a couple songs from our book. So the first song that we're going to play is the Jamaican folk song, or some of you might know it's the Banana Boat song. Everybody. I think one of the things I'm most impressed with these kids on is the speed that they've gained since our last concert. Last time you saw them, everything was kind of middle of the road in terms of speed, but now we're starting to really get those fingers moving into some more intricate songs. So we're going to keep the same vibes up with our next song, which is titled The Carnival of Venice. And for our last song out of the book, at least, we're going to play a song that takes a turn for the spooky. We're going to play a song called Ghost in the Attic. This one really shows off all the new notes that they've learned. It has a lot of accidentals, so notes that they don't see all the time, but they have to keep track of, and it usually has a different fingering or a different note name, so this one's a bit trickier on the notes. So we hope you enjoy Ghost in the Attic. Hopefully not too spooky for this lovely spring day. So that concludes the book portion of our sets. We're now going to move into some real sheet music that we've been working on. So the piece of like real music, if you want to call it that we've been working on is called Midnight Mission. So this is like sneaky spy sort of vibes. We decided that maybe it's a person sneaking into a museum to try to steal something. They're trying not to be caught. So we've been working a lot on our skills at playing quiet and playing in a separated and really sneaky style. So we hope that comes through. We're once again joined on this concert by some of our wonderful 8th grade percussionists to help fill in on some of those parts so that we have a more full concert sound. So for the 6th graders' last piece this evening, please enjoy Midnight Mission. that's it for the sixth graders. Then we'll move back to the bleachers in a second. Between groups, we have something a little different for you tonight. So 3 of our high school students, who will come up and introduce themselves in a moment, took it upon themselves in January and a little bit last year to learn a trio all by themselves. I didn't help them at all. They picked out the piece, they taught it to themselves, they had to work together, and they performed it at OMEA Solo and Ensemble Competition, where they performed for a judge and get a rating and feedback. And this trio, I was so proud of them, they received a rating of Superior, which is the highest rating that you can get at that OMEA competition. So, in between groups, as a bit of intermission music, they're going to come up and play that trio that they did at their own media competition. So hope you enjoy that while we do a set change and a quick warm-up.
Good evening. My name is Nina Graber-Nofziger. I'll be playing the bassoon tonight. We have Elise Phoenix on the oboe and Brody Powell on the clarinet. And we'll be playing Concert Suite by A. Flagger. We'll be playing the first 2 movements.
right, I think we're ready to keep rocking and rolling. Up next, we have our combined 7th and 8th grade band. And the first piece that we have for you tonight with the 7th and 8th graders is honestly just a lot of fun to play. So we hope you enjoy Pirates Cove. So that one was a lot of fun, and our next one is too, but in a slightly different way. So our next piece, we're going to switch to a more slow and lyrical style, which is hard to master at this age. Not too long after we started on our instruments, to be able to control that airstream and make beautiful sustained sounds is definitely a challenge for us, but I think this is a challenge they've enjoyed. So this piece is called Irish Tune from County Derry, or words were later added to it, you might know it as Danny Boy. So we're going to play that piece for you. It's going to feature a trumpet solo from Althea Summers, one of our 8th grade trumpet players. So you're going to hear that in just a minute. But we're going to switch to that slow and lyrical style, and we hope you enjoy Irish Tune from County Derry. seems fast that we're to the end of this band as well, but we are already to our last piece. The last piece that the 7th and 8th graders are playing tonight is by far their most challenging, but also one of the most rewarding for us to put together. So this piece is called Doppler effect. It's named after the scientific effect of the same name when, basically think of an ambulance. When an ambulance approaches you, its siren sounds higher, and as it drives away from you, it sounds lower. They taught me about it, they learned about it in science class. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know how to explain it. So that's the piece. It's called Doppler effect. So you're gonna hear that musically represented through a lot of crescendos and decrescendos, changes in dynamics, repeated patterns that change notes when you hear it the first time versus the second time, all to kind of emulate the Doppler effect. So this has been our trickiest one put together, but I think a lot of them would argue this is also our most exciting and fun piece for the concert. So to end our portion, we hope you enjoy the Doppler effect. going to take a big break from the bands for a minute. We're going to head over and listen to our high school choir next as soon as they pop in here.
Good evening. So, with the choir behind us, our first piece for you is called Aya Ngena, and this is a Zulu folk song from Southern Africa. And after this, you hear this arrangement and you see the translation of how they go in, they come out, they are confused and they are frightened. You probably are a little confused yourself on what the song is about, but actually the Zulu people, this was sung by the Zulu people that were oppressed and were kicked out of their homeland and were forced to go to a government-created homeland instead. But the song makes you think otherwise with the A major key that it's in and the fun syncopated rhythms. We have soloist Nathan Allen, and thank you, Mr. Reinbold, for filling on percussion. right, our next selection for you, All Poor Bird, is an English folk song. There's a theme for our rep this concert. And it's sung in rounds, and the themes throughout this express sympathy, pity, and longing for a bird that is considered the vulnerable creature within the text. And I'd like to welcome back Elise Phoenix with our oboe. So before we end, a couple of thank yous. Thank you to the music boosters for the wonderful dinner and fundraiser this evening. Our administrators, all of our student musicians that accompanied the choir this evening, and Katie Graber on piano, and all of you for continuing to support and find the value in music education here at Fairbanks. One last thing I want to draw to your attention in your program is a little blurb about, the high school production of our musical of Once Upon an Actress. We hope to see you in April. For that, there are a lot of middle school and high school and choir students, band students that have been working tirelessly after school with rehearsals. So we hope to see you and come support us in April. So our last piece for you is called Shady Grove, another folk song, the Appalachian folk song. It's from Eastern Kentucky, from the region of Eastern Kentucky, and it is said to have been written about the 20th century, if not earlier. So the text depicts a young man's love, his courting, the desire to marry at his shady grove, and we welcome Nina on violin.
Shady
All right, so our last performing group of the evening, our high school concert band, is just about set. But first, we have one thing that you may have noticed at Beef and Beats that we haven't done yet, and that is pull a winner for our 50-50 raffle. So we have our bucket of tickets right here. We have our charismatic salesman, Xander, who's going to pull the winning tickets.
Yeah, I just want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I'm Laura Briggs, I'm treasurer of the Music Boosters, so thank you for your support with our dinner and our 50-50. Brought in $372, so we'll be sharing 186 with one of you lucky ones and the boosters.
Now, I know I told a lot of people I would pick their ticket, so I'm sorry I can't make you all happy, but it looks like we have 296105.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You can find this breaks after the concert to split the winnings. Congratulations. All right, so up here in front of us we have our high school band. We're ready to go for real this time. So this group is not only performing this concert tonight, but they're also going to perform these same pieces on Saturday morning. Yes, these musicians are going to come in on one of their weekend days to perform at an OMEA adjudicated event. Similar to the solo and ensemble that I talked about earlier in this concert, OMEA large group adjudicated event is a chance for us to go and perform in front of a panel of judges who are all very experienced or retired band directors, so they know what they're talking about. We'll get comment sheets, a rating, and tapes that they take, like they talk through the entire thing and give comments. So it's a really valuable time for us to be able to get feedback that we can apply both on our spring concert and in years to come. So this is kind of their dry run for that. So up first we have Rio Bravo Overture, which is a pretty fun concert opener. It has almost like an old Western sort of theme at first, and then a saxophone solo in the B section by none other than Xander. So here is Rio Bravo Overture. for our second piece, we're gonna go in a more contemporary direction, whereas that was very like classic band tune sort of sound. This one's a little more out there, but hopefully we can get our ears around it. So this piece is called Blue Alien Accumulation. As the name might imply, this is about aliens arriving to Earth. So it's told in 3 parts. The first section is about the alien ships arriving in the sky, although it's probably not the type of sound that you're imagining in your brain, but those ships are gathering in the sky. The second section is an alien chorale, in which the composer writes that the aliens are trying to imitate a human religious ceremony, but maybe not getting it quite right. And then the third section is simply called Run, when the humans figure out that the aliens are not there for good, and their only choice is to flee. So, a little stranger of a premise, but hopefully still an enjoyable piece. Here is Blue Alien Accumulation. We All Survived the Aliens. And now we'll be back to something more familiar to end our concert. Before we do, I want to echo everything Cooper said, all the thank yous to boosters, administrators, custodians, everyone who helps make this band program possible. It takes a lot of work to put these concerts together and support all these kids. So thank everybody for that. So we're going to end with something super familiar. So we can't have a band concert, a year of band concerts, without playing a march at least once. So this is our concert march for this cycle. It's called Peace Jubilee. It was originally written by Carl King, but this arrangement is by James Swearingen. So here is Peace Jubilee. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, students, for helping put chairs and stands and percussion equipment away. And we'll see you all in May for our spring concerts. Have a good rest of your evening.